Hi, I'm Steve Maskery and welcome to workshopessentials.com. Now, I don't know about you, but I really resent spending lots of money on clamps. You need a lot of them, they're big so they take up a lot of space to store, most of the time they sit there doing nothing, and when you do need them, you need lots of them. And a whole assembly can be very heavy to manoeuvre once it's got a dozen clamps all over it. Fortunately, for a lot of jobs I don't need lots of pressure, but I do need lots of clamps. This is a Luthier clamp. It's homemade, it's light in weight, and it produces a modest amount of pressure, ideal for simple clamping jobs. It consists of a straight bar here, called a stock, with a fixed head. The moving jaw slides up and down, and pressure is applied by this lever here. There is a saw cut down the jaw, and that saw cut opens up, and that's what provides the clamping pressure. Clamps like this are very easy to make, and because they're just made from scrap, the cost is virtually zero. I rather like that. Both the fixed head and the moving jaw are made up of 3 layers of material. And the way that I get it to slide so nicely is by keeping the centre of this assembly very slightly thicker than the centre of the fixed head and the stock. So I've got one piece here which is going to be the centre of the moving jaw, and that measures about 9.5 millimetres. Whereas the centre of the fixed head, which I've labelled thin, is only 9.35 millimetres. And that difference will give me just the right amount of clearance. And so the fixed head is going to get glued together like that, with a 70mm, that's 2 3/4 of an inch offset like that. Remember, the thin piece is in the middle. And that means that that should be a nice snug fit onto the main stock. The cavity for the cap is made by bandsawing the piece out of the fat centre of the movable jaw. So now we glue the moving jaw, glue that exactly the same way. Now I've trimmed off the bits that stick out, and I'm now going to cut the recesses behind the heads. And I'm going to do that by clamping the two together and then drilling a hole 20mm or 3/4 of an inch right on the joint between them. So now I'm going to take the head and glue the stock into it. And I've sawn off the bit that was sticking out that end. And I'm going to glue it back into that end. And that'll be just what I want. Now you'll remember that the centre section of this jaw is very slightly thicker than the rest of the clamp. And that means that it slides very nicely, like that. And I've saved the offcut that I cut off that end. And I'm going to glue it into this end. But I'm going to make sure that I remove the clamp from the jaw while the glue dries so the whole lot doesn't get glued together. Now while that's going off, I'm going to make the cam for the lever action, and this is probably the trickiest part of the job. I've drilled a hole in a blank, and the position that I've drilled it at is very important. It's about 3mm off centre, 1/8 of an inch, and with the cam vertically like this, it's at about 10 o'clock. So I've drilled that while it's still rectangular because it's easier to hold, and now I'm just going to do it on the bandsaw and sand these corners on a disc sander. The spring in the jaw is created by drilling a small hole and sawing in line with the top of the cavity. The hole prevents a saw cut propagating into a split. So now I come to find out where to install the hole in here. So this is going to go in there like that. Okay. Now I'm going to do it so the narrowest point is just touching the jaw like that. Hold it with my fingers. I can feel that that's the right place. And now I have to translate that to there. So hold it in place, don't let it move. Stick in the nail, and that's where I want to drill my hole. I'm using an ordinary nail as a pivot, but really this should be stainless steel, as this jaw is made of oak. If you're using beech or maple, for example, then it's not a problem. And this is the finished clamp. It slides sweetly, but clamps up firmly. So next time you've got loads of bits of scrap that you don't know what to do with, why not turn them into something useful? Make a set of Luthier clamps. Now if you liked that, then I'm sure that you'll like these. This is a series of DVDs from workshopessentials.com, and each DVD is packed with jigs and accessories and gadgets for the workshop. I use them all myself and they make my woodwork safer, faster, more productive, and generally a lot more fun. You can buy each DVD separately if you wish, or you can save a bundle by buying a bundle like this. Each DVD also comes with plans to make the jigs, so you can put the DVD into your computer, browse to the resources directory on the disc and print off the PDF. Take it into your workshop and you've got the drawings there in front of you. So go to Workshop Essentials today and buy yourself a bargain. Or better still, get somebody else to buy it for you. And remember, if your children or grandchildren refuse to buy it for you, it means they don't really love you. Thank you for watching. Until the next time from Workshop Essentials, enjoy your workshop. Cheerio!